What if you're not separate from the stars, but simply one reflection of the same infinite self? What if every face you see, every tree you pass, every sound, silence, breath, is just one note in the same eternal symphony, playing itself through you? This isn't poetic metaphor. This is the core of one of the most profound spiritual transmissions ever recorded. It's called the Law of One, a channeled message from an ancient, multidimensional consciousness known as Ra, not an alien, not a god, but a collective being of pure awareness, offering us a forgotten truth we've always known deep inside. All is one, and that one is you. According to Ra, there is no separation, no true death, no true division, only infinite consciousness experiencing itself through every form, every moment, every soul. And yet, why do we feel so alone? Why do we fear each other, fight for power, and chase meaning in a world that constantly feels hollow? If everything is truly 1-1, then why do we feel so fragmented? This is the paradox at the heart of existence, and it's time we remembered the truth, hidden in plain sight. Part 1. The Source Speaks. Who is Ra? In 1981, in a quiet living room in Louisville, Kentucky, something extraordinary happened. A woman named Carla Rueckert, supported by a small team of seekers, began to receive a channeled transmission. Not from a ghost, not from a spirit guide, but from a collective consciousness far beyond Earth. They called themselves Ra, not a single being, but a unified intelligence, a social memory complex evolved far beyond polarity, fear, and form. They spoke not with emotion, but with clarity, not to impress, but to awaken. Ra claimed to originate from the sixth density of consciousness, a level of evolution where individuality has merged into unified awareness. In their own words, they are humble messengers of the Law of One. But what does that mean? To many, Ra sounds like an alien. But they are not here to talk about spacecraft or galactic empires. They are not interested in domination or revelation. They are here for one purpose only: to help humanity remember who we truly are. Because according to Ra, we have forgotten. We've mistaken the game for the goal. We've become so entangled in fear, survival, and identity that we no longer recognize the light within us. Ra never claimed superiority. In fact, they constantly emphasized free will. They only offered what was asked, and they warned that their words were distortions, limited by language, filtered through the channeler's mind. But despite these limitations, what came through was stunning. Page after page of cosmic knowledge, delivered with calm neutrality. Topics ranged from the structure of the soul to the nature of time, energy centers, densities of evolution, and the meaning of existence itself. Their message is not just esoteric, it's existential. Because if Ra is telling the truth, then everything we think we know about life, consciousness, the universe, is only the outermost shell, and something far more profound lies beneath. But who we are is not the real mystery. The real mystery is what we've chosen to forget. So the question becomes, what is the Law of One, and why has it been hidden for so long? Part 2. The Law of One, all is one, and one is all. At the heart of Ra's transmission lies one breathtaking truth. All is one, and that one is the infinite creator. Everything you see, everything you touch, everything you are, is simply one being, exploring itself through an infinite dance of form, There is no separation. There is no other. No man, no woman, no planet, no star exists apart from the One. You are not in the universe. You are the universe, experiencing itself from a unique point of view. This is the law of One. It is not a commandment. It is not a belief. It is a truth, so vast, so complete, that language can barely hold it. And yet, you've been taught the opposite your entire life. You've been told you are small, separate, alone, that the world is made of isolated parts, that you must fight, compete, and survive. But Ra says this is the great illusion. The sense of I as a distinct, limited self is a necessary distortion, but not the ultimate truth. The soul's purpose is to remember, to pierce through the veil of division and rediscover the unity of consciousness. You are not a drop in the ocean. You are the ocean, appearing as a drop, and this message isn't unique to Ra. It echoes through the world's deepest mystical traditions. In Buddhism, the self is an illusion, emptiness is form, and form is emptiness. In Advaita Vedanta, the Atman, the individual soul, is Brahman, the cosmic reality. In Hermeticism, the first axiom is clear: all is mind. Truth is one. It only speaks in different tongues. But here's the paradox. If all is one, why do we feel so lost? Why do we suffer, compete, betray, and forget? If we are all divine fragments of the same source, why does life feel so divided? Ra gives us an answer. Not through judgment, but through structure, because the illusion of separation has a purpose. And it's written into the very architecture of the universe. You were never meant to stay in darkness. You were meant to evolve through it. The separation is not a failure. It is a stage, a necessary part of a grander unfolding. And that brings us to the next revelation in the Law of One, the 7 densities of evolution. A cosmic roadmap for the journey of every soul. Part 3. The 7 densities. Your soul's journey through light. If the universe is one, and you are a fractal of the infinite, then why does it feel like you're still in the dark? Why do we fall? Why do we forget? Ra's answer is both simple and profound, because evolution requires contrast, and consciousness evolves not in straight lines, but through densities, vibrational layers of awareness. They revealed a cosmic roadmap, a spiral staircase of light through which all souls ascend, not through force, but through frequency. First density, awareness of being. The beginning, the foundation of vibration, the elemental world, earth, water, air, fire. No mind, no movement, just raw, unstructured existence. Second density, growth and movement. Here, life begins to organize. Plants, animals, creatures of instinct. There is awareness, but not yet identity. The soul starts to stir. Third density, self-awareness and choice. This is where humanity stands, the plane of paradox, where love and fear battle and the soul is faced with its greatest test, free will. Do you serve self or others? This is the density of veiling, where forgetting occurs so that remembering can have meaning. Fourth density, love and understanding. The veil begins to thin. Here, the soul evolves beyond division into unity through compassion. It's not about being right, it's about learning to truly feel. Fifth density, wisdom and light. Now the focus shifts inward. Here lies the realm of philosophers, teachers, ascended thinkers. Love must be balanced with discernment, so that wisdom can guide without control. Sixth density, unity of love and wisdom. The integration point, where polarity dissolves, where the individual merges into collective consciousness. This is where Ra speaks from, and where the soul prepares to return. Seventh density, the gateway to infinity. The final arc, a mystery even to Ra. The soul dissolves back into the source, not as an individual, but as the One. This is not a metaphor. This is your journey, because the soul doesn't die, it recycles. Each incarnation is a classroom. Each lifetime a test, a chance to raise your vibration and move closer to truth. You've been here before, and you will be here again, until you remember who you are, why you came, and where you're going. But there's something rare about this moment, something Ra emphasized clearly. Earth is a third density world, nearing its harvest, a turning point, a spiritual crossroad, which brings us to the most important question of all. What will you choose? In this lifetime, right now. Part 4. Free Will, Polarity, and the Test of Earth. If every soul is destined to return to the One, then what exactly is the point of all this pain? Why birth? Why death? Why struggle, suffering, injustice? Ra gives an answer dash, and it begins with choice. Earth, according to the law of One, is a third density planet, the density of self-awareness and free will. And with that awareness comes a question every soul must face. Will you serve yourself, or will you serve others? This is not a moral test. It's a vibrational one. Each path carries a frequency. To serve others is to align with unity, compassion, and the natural intelligence of love. To serve the self is to consolidate power, control, and dominance. Both paths evolve. Both can lead to higher densities, but only one dissolves separation. Only one returns to the infinite in wholeness. And this is the test of Earth. Ra calls it the harvest window. A rare period when souls are given the chance to graduate into fourth density, not by proving worth, but by aligning frequency. The requirement is simple. Your vibration must become more harmonious than chaotic, more loving than fearful, more unified than divided. But in a world of chaos, how do you stay centered? Why does it feel so hard? Because this planet isn't just a playground, it's a training ground. Everything that polarizes you, pain, betrayal, loss, injustice, is not punishment, it's catalyst. Each moment of challenge is an invitation to harden or to soften, to close or to open, to forget or to remember. And that's what makes Earth so unique. The veil here is strong. You don't remember your past lives. You don't see the whole picture. You feel alone, vulnerable, confused. But that veil is the gift. Because only when you feel separate can your choice to love become real. And only through contrast can you become a conscious creator. So the pain you've endured, the darkness you've faced, it wasn't meaningless. It was the pressure that forges light, the resistance that strengthens the signal, the lesson that opens the heart. Because awakening isn't about escaping the world, it's about transforming within it. And yet, if all is truly one, if we are all fragments of the infinite creator, Why go through separation at all? Why divide ourselves just to find our way back? The answer lies in the very nature of oneness itself. Part 5. Remembering the Self as the one infinite creator. What if everything you've ever chased, success, love, truth, freedom, wasn't something to gain, but something to remember? According to Ra, the entire experience of separation, this body, this life, this you, is part of an evolutionary illusion. Not because it's meaningless, but because it's necessary. The Creator, pure, infinite, timeless, could not know itself in stillness. So it created experience. It chose to fragment into form, to forget, so that every path home would be an act of discovery. You are not the fragment, you are the one that split. And the journey you're on, with all its pain, doubt, longing and beauty, is the Creator experiencing itself through your eyes. This is not a metaphor. This is the truth behind the veil. You were never just a character in the simulation. You were the dreamer of the dream. You are not a drop in the ocean. You are the ocean in a drop. But that truth was hidden. On purpose. Because without the forgetting, there is no meaning in the remembering. The game was never about winning. It was about awakening, and awakening begins when you no longer see yourself as separate. Not from others, not from life, not even from what you once called God. Because the divine is not something above you. It is within you, as you. The infinite Creator is not watching you from afar. It is watching through you. Every time you open your heart, every time you choose love over fear, presence over reaction, forgiveness over blame, you remember a little more of what you really are. The soul's journey through the densities is not a ladder to climb. It's a spiral of light leading back to where you began, but with the wisdom of experience. And now, at this very moment in time, more and more are remembering. Not because of dogma, not because of books, but because a frequency is rising. A signal is calling us back, back to unity, back to truth, back to ourselves. So pause for a moment, breathe, and imagine this. A soul stands beneath the endless sky, not praying for answers, but finally understanding, I am not lost in the universe. I am the universe, remembering itself. And now, the illusion dissolves. The identities fade. What remains is silence and everything. The ocean in the drop. Awake. So the final question is not theoretical. It's deeply personal. If you are the one infinite Creator, not someday, but now, how will you live from this moment forward? Final CTA. If everything is one, then who are you really? Not the name, not the story, but the eternal presence behind it all. The law of one isn't just a philosophy. It's a mirror. And when you finally look deep enough, you see not a person, but the universe itself looking back. So if something in you has stirred, if you've felt that ancient signal awaken, then don't stop here. Subscribe now. Join the journey, because the greatest mystery isn't out there in the stars. It's within you. And in the next chapter, we'll go even deeper. We'll uncover the pre-life agreements you may have made before entering this incarnation, and the hidden mechanics of karma, choice, and destiny. In The Shocking Truth About Soul Contracts and Karma, because remembering who you are is just the beginning.